And welcome back to the Stubblefields Set Free.
Welcome back.
We are excited to be back for episode 4. So welcome to this podcast. It is where we share the testimonies of God's goodness and faithfulness in our lives in prayer that it will point you to Jesus Christ, whose glory alone we seek through this podcast. So episode 4, we left you guys hanging. Episode 3,
Right.
cliffhanger. That was not intentional, but we get to pick up from there and finish off.
Okay.
And wrap up the how we met and the beginning of our marriage kind of series that we have going on here. So the last episode, I was talking about how I almost crossed state lines to go and stay with basically an acquaintance. And the only common thing I had with that guy was that he was Zimbabwean, and I had met him a few times back home in Zimbabwe through the agency or the organization that facilitated kind of like the resources to come and study in the US.
So you met him a few times?
I met him a few times in Zimbabwe.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't know
Just
that part.
by a few, I think it's like twice. And so I had shared with you, I shared in the previous episode that even the people I considered close friends at the time didn't pick on the fact that I was stressed out, but you picked on it when we would do our long Skype calls when you were getting to know me after you'd lost my number, found me on Facebook,
Right.
Skyping, getting to know each other. Right. And you were going through like a struggle time in that season.
Let me tell you, post-college life, it's struggle.
Struggle bus. He was in the struggle bus. You had just graduated December of 2017, I think it was.
Right.
And that was summer of 2014.
Right.
Where I needed to figure out where I was going to stay. And then you sensed something was wrong. Then I eventually opened up to you that my parents told me basically to figure it out.
I'm like, how is this going to work?
I know. But what chivalrous, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Chivalrous.
I think it was a no-brainer.
That
Just,
you did, the gentleman-like thing you did.
I think it was a no-brainer to allow you to stay squat with me in my my 4-4 student living apartment.
So you offered
yes.
for me to come and live with you.
Yeah, to squat. To
squat with you, as you call it. But this was a student housing. So I think those who went to USF are familiar with those kind of housings where it was a 4x4, which means that you were like 4 housemates essentially.
Correct.
Each housemate had their own room and bathroom, but then they shared common spaces. So he stayed with 3 other guys. I think my understanding was that it had to be the same gender. So it didn't. You could mix.
There are some student apartments that had co-ed.
Okay.
But for me, for the most part, it was just on.
So basically, he offered for me to camp on his bed while he camped on the couch in the common area.
Correct.
Because he would rather
on the floor.
On the floor. Because he, in the goodness of his heart, at that time, and I can attest to that, he was not trying to get into my pants, although that ended up happening. But
I didn't get in your pants that night.
No, you didn't, but I'm talking about later. Like, because, the whole setup was really for the summer.
Right.
But your intentions were good because you told me, like, you should stay in Tampa because you know more people in Tampa. What if something happens to you in that state and you don't know anyone? And he was very correct. I had gotten to know more people in Tampa than where I was going. So I took up his offer. I didn't know what that looked like, but I knew at least it meant I wasn't going to be homeless.
I just couldn't fathom the fact that you were left in a foreign country just to figure it out.
Yeah,
that was just beyond me. And when I think about that in retrospect, it's like, man, imagine. I can imagine the stress that you were going through.
I was trying
all the uncertainties. Anything could have happened at any point in time. If I could have been any type of guy.
Oh yeah. I mean, I look back now. A lot of the issues, I've gone through a lot of sexual trauma in my life. A lot of times I feel like because of the desperation of my circumstances, I would end up in situations that were quite frankly dangerous for me. But the fact that you were kind enough to mobilize your friends, I remember Jaggy, shout out to Jaggy, mobilize your friends to come pack my dorm room
right,
and
right.
pack it up and load up his car. You were at work that day. And then I moved in with you. But prior to moving in, I had come and spent the night. That was the first time we had any private interaction with each other.
Right.
Would that be? No, because we'll talk about that other time. Because we skipped the Gainesville part.
Yes, we did.
We have to talk about the Gainesville because
It was like a game of cat and mouse with the eyes.
Yeah, but it was like very. I think that
very
Gainesville trip was pivotal to our relationship.
Yes.
So we do have to go back. So rewind a little bit before the summer, just before the summer. So it was still the spring semester of 2014, and the Gainesville College campus, the ASA over there, we're having their African night.
I think they refer to themselves as African Student Union.
ASU.
Something of that sort, yeah.
Either way, just like we were inviting each other, we were kind of invited, and USF ASA wanted to couple with UT ASA for us to all go to Gainesville ASU.
Sure.
They rented. I'm gonna tell this part because I need to be quick, because then he'll take long on this one. You guys rented a truck, a van.
Van, yes.
You rented a van. Asked how many people were coming.
Right.
Me and my friends are like, we'll come.
Yeah.
And so then he comes, rolls up on campus.
Prior to that, me and my boys were like, yeah, we about to pick up this UT girls. So which one you gonna talk to? Which one? So we're busy trying to pick who we're gonna
Unbelievable. But just before you got the van, you came with your car,
right.
I think, to talk to the president at the time, the USF UTASA president. And you were like leaning back in your car.
You already know, man.
With your other friend. I won't say the name of the friend. Then I was walking and you were rolling, driving past. And like I sensed a car pulling up behind me.
Yep.
And then you're like, yo, what's up?
Yeah.
You guys coming with us or not? And I was just like, relax. We're coming, and it's not time yet. You told us a different time. Blah 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 blah. And then I was like, and why are you guys even here early? I feel like you guys are such players. You're out here scouting for girls. Please get out of here.
What do you mean?
I was like, you just came to this campus just to scout. Why are you here early? This is not the time.
It was the Hunger Games on the UT campus.
So fast forward, we get into the van. They wait for us. We, girls things, do our thing. We take our time. We get in the van. We go. You're driving. We get to a gas station because you need to refill the gas.
It was interesting because when I stopped there, and before you guys entered the van, it was like an eeny, meeny, miny, mo situation. Which one am I gonna talk to?
You should be ashamed of yourselves. So
I talked to that one, that one. But you stood out the most because it's the gaze that you gave me that basically stared into my soul. Because like every time I would peep the scene to see what's going on, who's what, and who's catching, who's not.
I can't believe you guys had that conversation about eeny, meeny, miny, mo, pick your pick.
I'm just saying it is common for most men. I can't speak for most men. I think it's common for most men. They're trying to see like, okay, what's going on?
Y'all should be ashamed of yourselves. So anyway,
but you always stood
we get in the van.
Right.
You're pumping gas.
And then I turn around.
And I don't know what it was, but I am so drawn to this guy. Like, this is post us first time meeting. Because remember, time passed from the first time we met and I walked my walk of shame to us having this connection again. Time had passed. I think close to a year had passed at that point. And so now I'm like just looking at this guy and I'm just realizing just how attractive he is to me. I don't know what it was, but I'm like, I'm really drawn to you.
Right.
And then I watch you pump gas and I don't know if our kids will watch this, but I literally was undressing you
That's interesting. That's very
at the
interesting.
gas station.
It was crazy. It was crazy. It was crazy. I felt something looking at me. You know
then he looked up.
You know how you feel like eyes, like your hair stand up. Something is looking at me.
And then
as soon as I turned around, the gaze was so piercing. I was like,
and I couldn't.
I got trapped.
There was this electric current. It's ridiculous.
It's like when I looked to her eyes, it's like it captured my soul. I'm like, it's like, am I seeing what I'm seeing? If you see my woman's eyes, it is something you can definitely get lost into.
Okay, only you should get lost in my eyes.
No. I'm just trying to say, like, I literally had to shake what I was looking at. I really felt like I was in a dream. I really thought I stepped into the Twilight Zone. They might as well call me Dorothy. Kick my heel.
Okay,
click my heel 2 times.
Stop.
Click my heel 2 times out of Kansas. I was in Kansas.
Stop.
I was in Kansas.
Okay, so I was a heathen. I was unsaved, and I was undressing you, and
Never knew that.
yeah.
But that gaze.
Yeah, I mean, why did you think that gaze existed?
I didn't know. But it was something. It was so striking. It was like so piercing. Like, I'm like,
delicious. But anyway.
But and she'll play it off like. I was like, oh.
So then we locked eyes.
Right.
And I literally watched you walk. You smiled, and then my gaze followed you until you got into the car.
Oh my god.
We continued to drive. We get to Gainesville.
It's amazing.
And you guys get off the van and excuse us because we needed to change, I think it was. So once we're at the event, because you were a vice president, but you were doing your whole what hospitality?
Formalities.
Yeah, the formalities, like you know the African culture. You get a place, you greet people, and everything like that. And you took that seriously because that, I think it's part of your nature, even outside of you being a vice president. And so you were busy doing that, and meanwhile the food line is going.
Yeah.
And people are getting their food.
Right.
And you don't have a plate.
Right.
So then
I was like, man.
How did I fix this man a plate? I fixed him a plate, and when he was done, the pleasantries.
Right.
And you got to the table, everybody else is munching on their plate, and the food is done.
Tearing it up.
But guess who has
where is my
Guess who had your back? Guess who had your back? I had a plate, and I was like,
Auntie. That $10.
Listen, the man has not paid bride price.
You're right.
He hasn't even pursued me. I'm here serving him a plate. Girl, I was stupid.
Right.
Yeah, I was.
But
I guess it was the Lord's doing.
It definitely made an impact. I was literally going through my head of like a checklist.
Oh!
The checklist was like, you were winning on that checklist so far. First, you caught me by the gaze, and then you follow up with serving me at my table. Come on, what man doesn't like to be served?
I know that's right. I know that's right.
Woman does not want to be served. It was all of those things that really made you stand out to me. Thank you for that. And it was becoming more and more clear that, yeah, this is where I need to be. I'm
a wifey.
This is where my focus needs to be for tonight.
And mind you, I had a quote unquote boyfriend.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then fast forward to that night again. We come from the event, there's an after party.
Right.
Everybody gets dressed, we go to the after party in the van. And then everybody's dancing on the dance floor. I'm gonna be really fast about it. Right. Everybody's dancing on the dance floor. You're sweating, your sweat off. On the dance floor, taking turns dancing with different girls.
Yeah, taking turns, man. Searching to see, okay, who is who, what is what. And then I was looking for one. I'm like, okay, that one's not there. And then I saw you in my crosshair. Like, yeah, let me see what this is all about.
Exactly. So he approaches me and says, let's dance.
Just to get closer to you, girl. That's what it was. I got close.
We started dancing.
Yeah.
And you got even closer. And you stole a kiss.
To be honest with you, that was pretty bold because I don't do stuff like that.
You don't do? We're talking in present tense?
I've never done anything like
I
that.
had never. Because when I came into the picture, that's
I'm speaking as if I'm in the...
Okay.
But I had never done anything like that before. It was one of those things like I wanted to take a risk.
You wanted to take a risk?
Yeah,
A risk you took.
I did take that risk, and it was something that was, that was not even thought about. It was just more like a spur of the moment.
Okay. Well, you kissed me.
Right.
And then I was like, got a boyfriend. So I kind of stopped you.
Right.
And then I said, I'm thirsty.
I'm like, okay, you thirsty? Let me give you some water. Let me give you some water.
This man is dripping on me too. You know, he's dripping on me. It's because he sweats profusely.
Right.
So I'm like, I'm thirsty. I'd like to go to the van to get water. I don't know what you thought, but I genuinely wanted water.
And I was going to walk to you to the van to give you some water.
So he offered to walk me to the van to
quench your thirst.
Water.
I'm like, sure. You're thirsty? Come to the van and get some water.
So
why not?
We go.
Why would I allow you all by your lonesome to walk outside in the dark in a van that anybody can be slipping around the corner and do some craziness to you? Why would I allow you to walk to the van by yourself? So I'm going to step out and walk you to the van. Walk you to that van. And now we're in the van. Go ahead.
I'm pretty sure you had a vested interest in walking me to the van. We get into the van, you give me some water, we start talking, and we're two hot bodies. Right. We're literally sitting like this. We're not even that close to each other.
Right.
And then we're having conversation, and somehow it ends up on talking about how I have a boyfriend. And then you cockily say...
What did you say? I what?
Cocky.
Is that a word?
It's a Merriam word. You boldly.
Let me look that up, man. That's outrageous. You just start making up words. I just caught you in your... You made it sound... You thought I was going to get over that. You thought I was just going to like let that brush over. I'm like, nah.
I just thought you would understand. But you did the same thing you did the second time we met when I was dancing, where you were like, oh, come off it. What shy person dances? You switched into that mode,
right,
and said, oh, whatever boyfriend, I could have had you if I wanted to. Mm-mm. I can have you right now if I want to. That's what you said.
I was pretty bold.
Exactly. In the van. And I said,
and I don't usually do that, though.
Yeah, that's wild. So I was like, okay, well, I have a boyfriend and you're not going to be able to take me in this van. And then now all the other people, apparently the party ended while we were still in the van. So all these other people are coming back to the van. They wait outside, and I'm like, why are they waiting outside?
It was the windows were foggy.
Then they were like, oh, we weren't trying to disrupt anything because the windows are foggy. I'm like, God, we were sweating. I was trying to convince these people that nothing was happening in the van. Like the van was just steaming because we were steaming hot bodies coming from the dance floor, especially him. But they didn't buy it till this day. I don't think they believe it. They think we did some things in the van, so they were waiting outside.
So courteous.
I was like, you guys need to stop. Nothing happened. We didn't do anything. They were like, And the rest of the ride back was innuendos and jokes, underlying jokes about us and it being in the van.
How was that, though? I never heard that in depth about how the ride back was with you guys.
You were there. Like, they kept throwing those innuendos. Yeah, y'all were in the van. We didn't. We could have been home on time if y'all weren't using the van. Those kind of things. I'm like, guys, stop. Nothing happened in the van. So anyway, fast forward to summer of 2014. We're now the first night where I hadn't moved in yet, but because you had arranged for me to get a potential summer job, I stayed over because it was going to be super early in the morning. and then we kissed, and you fell asleep while we were kissing. Like snoring. Like imagine just kissing somebody and then you just hear snoring. That is wild.
Right.
And that's what happened. So thank the Lord for that, because then sex didn't happen that night.
For sure, man.
And then fast forward to when I actually moved in, and shout out to Juggy who just moved me in. And you mobilize your friends, like, you go, man, go get my Miriam off the campus, do this, do that. And you were, I think you had gone for an interview, I think it was. I don't remember what it was, but you were not available, and you sent him with his car. And so I moved in, and guess what I was doing? All the wifey duties without a ring. Okay, I was cooking for this man, such that his friends were so upset. They're like, this man's getting spoiled. He gets breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
We all were starving. We all were starving. So every time they come in, they be like, man, you cooking for you again, man?
It was a struggle, boss. And then, as you can imagine, we ended up having premarital sex. We were fornicating. I didn't know the Lord. He had backslid.
Yeah.
But you were getting convicted, though.
It was conviction.
Because you didn't want it.
I didn't want it.
And when we have an episode to talk about sexual trauma and past experiences and the healing the Lord has brought in that, I will address the dynamic of our premarital sex journey. But thankfully, even before we got married, the Lord drew us so close to Him that both of us were seriously convicted, and we abstained from having sex, even though we were living together for an entire year that we didn't have sex. The next time we had sex is when we got married, which we're gonna jump into.
I just want to really touch point on how loving and graceful and merciful our Father in heaven is.
Yeah, we didn't deserve it.
We fall so short of the glory of God, continuously running back to our own vomit. I'm sin after sin, you know. Sin. Sin after sin, but yet He still pursued us. Mm-hmm. Yet He still loved us. Yes, He still didn't condemn us. You know, how many of us are still in that rut of condemnation, to the point that you feel like you can't return. There's no freedom for you. Yeah.
I mean, we did it all. Well, we didn't do it all. I definitely didn't do drugs or alcohol. But
the difference,
the in-betweens is that the sin is sin before the Lord, and I was unworthy to be in the presence of a holy God. But His gracious mercy found me, drew me to Christ, and I found salvation, and it's the best thing that's ever happened in my entire life.
But the difference was we continue to keep pursuing the love and Father. We continue to keep running to His throne of grace. We continue to keep running through the throne of grace every single time, because we know that's where freedom lies. And it's just so crazy if you really think about it.
So we eloped. You can be here, and that's why we will be celebrating 10 years of marriage in March. We had a wedding a year and some change after, but we eloped first. So that will have to be the next story, because there's quite a bit of interesting things in that. But we will wrap up today's episode talking about the bulk of our relationship. So our relationship was tumultuous.
Right.
Two sinners coming together, one unsaved, one backsliding. We broke up twice in the course of our relationship before marriage.
Right.
And we've learned a lot of things, and unfortunately ungodly things still happened during the 2 times we were broken up.
Right.
Because we well, I'll speak for myself, I moved on each time. But in the next episode, where we're going to talk about our elopement and us getting married and our first year of marriage and what that looked like, we will address the journey to getting engaged and getting married. But I will preface that episode with saying that honestly, whom the Lord has for you is for you, and nobody, including yourselves, can stop that plan. Because for something to look forward to, we almost got into our own way for such a blessed marriage, a blessed institution, constitution of marriage to each other, that the plans that the Lord had for us that was so good that we ourselves and others almost got in the way of that. But by the grace of God, He prevailed. Yeah. His omniscience, His omnipotence, His providence prevailed, and we're grateful that today we get to sit here as husband and wife, sharing our testimonies. 3 kids later, 3 in heaven, 3 here, going on 10 years of marriage. So I'm glad I undressed you that night. Well,
to think I almost missed the boat on you, man. I almost let you go.
You did. You almost let a good thing go.
Yeah.
So that's what we're going to talk about in our next episode. Thank you so much for hanging with us, and we will see you at the next one. Bye. For this we stand on His word.